Oh, wait. Oh my God. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Pageant Mag Philippines live chat. Yours truly, Francois Diaz, your pageant correspondent. Joining with me tonight is Yoji Diaz, my fellow Pageant Mag Philippines correspondent. So we are live simultaneously on Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. So if you are new to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe and click the bell notification and follow and like our Facebook page as well for more pageant updates. We are also on Instagram and TikTok, so please follow us on all our social media platforms. Now, if you have any questions later, please don't hesitate to drop at the comment section. All right. So we have a guest once again tonight, and our guest tonight is a 21-year-old Miss Philippines Earth 2021 candidate hailing from Talisay City, Cebu. She's a filmmaking graduate, and barely a year after graduating, a full length script she co wrote was accepted into the country's best independent film festival rather, which is Cinemalaya Film Festival. Her beauty queen journey began at the ripe age of 15 as she traveled all over the Philippines, joining beauty pageants left and right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mia Jane Salisbury. So there you go.
Hi everyone. Good evening
Hello.
po. Hi sir, kamusta?
Mabuti naman, and how are you too? Kumusta?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
It's our pleasure to have you tonight, and of course, we are absolutely honored for having you as well. So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
once again, I would like to encourage everyone, our viewers, to please just comment down your questions for Mia so that we can be able to ask that later to her. Okay. All right. So, Mia, can you tell us more about yourself? Basically, because well, this is just the first time that we've met, and it's online. So, absolutely, we don't know so much about you yet.
Yes. So, of course, I believe Sir Francois, we were in the same press con batch, di ba po?
Yes, that's right.
Tama ba
Mm-hmm.
ba? Yes.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, I really love the idea of a virtual pageant,
Mm-mm.
because it gives us an opportunity as candidates and, of course, the press to reach such a bigger crowd of people and to also,
Mm-mm.
voice out our platform and use our
Mm-mm.
platform rather as a beacon of all of our voices together with the causes that we want to share. So, a little bit about
Mm-mm.
myself. Sir, you did mention I am 21 and I am from the beautiful city, Talisay City, Cebu. I am a very proud Cebuana by blood and by heart. I feel like that's very important to mention as well. And, I've grown up in Talisay and it's really
Mm-mm.
been a life changing experience having both experience living abroad in Australia and also here in Talisay in Cebu, in the Philippines. I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
have such a warm community in a sense where I was really openly welcomed here. And, I'm just so thankful to have this opportunity again.
So, yeah, thank you so much for that. Mia, rather. How do we better call you? By the way.
Better call me po by
Mm-hmm,
Mia.
mm-hmm. Oh, Mia. Okay.
Yes.
So
Oh,
Mia, seemingly that your family name is well, sounds very foreign to all of us.
yes.
Um, can you tell us about your roots, or at least the descent of your descent? I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
Of course. So my father is Australian, so I did grow up
Mm-mm.
in Australia mostly, but my parents made it
Mm-mm.
very, very. They really instilled in me the importance of learning my culture, my roots, specifically my Filipino roots. So every
Mm-mm.
year or every second year, we would come and visit the Philippines, and that's where and how I learned my mother's tongue, which is Bisaya or Cebuano. And eventually,
Uh-oh.
I started to learn Tagalog. So if my Tagalog really isn't the best, that's because I learned Bisaya first together with English. So it was really important in our household, to even if I'm living abroad and I'm not seeing my grandparents and the rest of my family here in Cebu, in Talisay,
Mm-mm.
that the values of Filipinos and our history, our culture was really instilled in me as a child, especially my dad. Like a lot of
Mm-mm.
people think foreigners don't want their children to grow up and speak a language that they can't understand. But, my dad, when he was first seeing my mom, he really went and took Tagalog lessons. And that was
That's
parang,
impressive, huh?
he even
Yeah.
tried really hard to
Yes,
learn himself. So, he
Yeah.
didn't want me to grow up and not be able to spend time with my grandparents and the rest of my family here. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
Yeah. That's actually love could do.
Yes.
Yeah. So you mean,
yes.
Pia, even at mhm. So you mean, Pia, even at home, you speak the native language of your
Yes.
mother.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I'm
Mm-mm.
very fluent in Bisaya, and my voice changes drastically. Like I sound very. It's a word in Cebuano that's called bugoy. Like when I speak Cebuano, I sound very not provincial, but very like I'm really from Cebu. Like I use all the slang words and everything. And then when people see me and they see, my facial features and what I look like, they're like, "Oh, whoa, she can speak Cebuano, and why does she sound like she's from really the province?" So I like to surprise people sometimes. Like, yeah, I can understand exactly what you're saying.
Can you can you at least try to speak Cebuano for us?
Okay, give me a line. Give me a line or something, sir, na parang I can
like
elaborate.
like a greeting, and saying um a greeting and saying I love you, something like that. Mhm.
I love you.
Mhm.
Oh, I think it's because like there's so many deep words in Visaya as
Mhm.
well, and I
Mhm.
haven't been home, so I think it's Kihigugma Tamo, saying like I love you, but
Oh.
many people, if that makes sense, like a crowd, like
Uh,
Kihigugma Tamo. Yes.
oh. I think Yoji
Okay.
has something to say. Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Mia. I am just curious about the support system of Talisay City, Cebu. I remember Gazini Ganados represented Talisay
Yes.
City, Cebu. So how's the support system of the local government?
Really, I'm so thankful because actually back in 2017, in October, I was crowned their Miss Tourism Talisay. So, I really, and before that, alam nyo naman na galing talaga ako sa barangay pageants. Like that was my training ground really. So I joined a lot of even barangay pageants in Talisay, and eventually, I
Mhm.
worked my way up to Miss Talisay. So the funny thing is when I went to my courtesy call, because Mayor Samsam is so supportive, and really just the tourism department and everyone at City Hall. I'm a bit of a familiar face because I always used to go there during my reign, and
Mhm.
so the funny thing is, yung hinanap nila, hindi ako, yung nanay ko, because my mom is always with me. She's such a stage mom. And everyone, si Vice, pati si Vice, oh, regards ako sa nanay mo, ha? Nasaan na siya ngayon? Why didn't you bring her with you? So, I'm so thankful to have my city's backing. And even the mayor has done a lot of postings about me
Mhm.
joining the pageant, and even when I did the courtesy call. So I'm so thankful to have all my Talisaynon support me.
Oh, that's great, no? Kasi nga, not everyone could get the
Yeah.
same support that you are actually getting from with the other candidates as well, because
Yes, po.
other candidates are actually striving on their own to
Mm-hmm.
to be able to present their municipalities or their places. Yeah. Okay,
So
so can you tell us more about your family? So, pang ilan ka, or how many are you? Something like that.
yeah, so I'm the oldest. I'm the eldest, rather, of two,
Mhm.
and for as long as I can remember, I would always just beg my parents, "Please give me a sibling." I was the eldest and the only child for 9 years. And he was an unexpected baby, but I couldn't imagine my life without him. He's my younger brother, Raul, and
Hmm.
he's actually named after my grandpa. So, there's only the two of
Mm-mm.
us, babae laki. So parang sakto talaga. Kasi it's hard to raise one kid, let alone
Mm-mm.
two. So even my
Yeah.
grandparents, he was telling me, my grandma was telling me yesterday, she was like, I don't know for how long I was asking your mother, please, in
Mm.
Bisaya, lagi pa ni mag-usay, add another one, please. So finally, it's just really God's will, that I ended up having a little brother. We're 9 years apart, so big
Ang
difference.
sweet.
Yeah.
Ang sweet. Anyway, well, we know that we have so many national pageants in the
Yeah.
Philippines, right? Um, why did you choose to join Miss Earth instead of the rest?
So, as I mentioned earlier, we were having a little chica moment before
Uh-uh.
we started the live. Tito Roach
Uh,
and really pushed me to join super last minute. So,
mm-mm.
it was literally the day before the screening, one of the screening dates, and they said, you should join, please. The makeup artists were pushing me, Mommy Bry, and so I was
Mm-mm.
like, you know what, I should, because this has always been a dream of mine to join Miss Earth, and I thought not only that that my branding was aligned with the organization, but being
Mm-mm.
an eco warrior is something that's always been instilled in me. My earliest
Mm-mm.
memories was always spending hours and hours in the morning and in the afternoon with my grandparents and my mother in our backyard, setting up a compost. There's never ever been a time when we haven't had a compost and a worm farm in our backyard. So, I always grew up with a green thumb. So I think that was really it, that I was always passionate about the environment and gardening and everything green growing up. So, I'm very thankful for that as well, that my parents and my grandparents instilled that into me.
All right. So, well,
Oh,
that's nice. That's basically nice to hear about that. No, that's
Yeah.
really very impressive that you're growing with you have grown up with the love on the environment, right?
Yes.
yes.
Well,
So, with that, Mia, we have actually a first question here coming
yeah.
from coming from one of your supporters. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so here we
Hi
go.
Mia, good luck to your Miss Philippines Earth journey. And I just wanted to ask, how do you think winning Miss Philippines Earth will help your advocacy?
Oh my God, it's Shara. Okay,
All
so
right.
thank you for that, Shara. Shara has been one of my biggest supporters ever since I started on social
Mm-hmm.
media. She's always been there. So it really means a lot to me that, you guys reached out and she really took the time to ask that question. So, how would winning this pageant bring awareness to my advocacy? Tama ba po?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel like having the platform of Miss Earth is just an incredible honor. And it's a platform that also allows me to spread awareness about my advocacy, which
Mm-hmm.
is something that I've called mindful waste management, that widely focuses on the education and the implementation of reducing single use plastic. So I want to use this platform to push the initiative, because I don't think that it's something that's necessarily unrealistic for
Uh-uh.
each and every Filipino household. I feel like it's wonderful that we have all these great ideas, but it's also important to almost anchor them in so that it's not going to be so out of reach or not applicable to
Mm-mm.
each and every household. Because I feel like that's how we're going to definitely make the biggest impact, when we reach
Mm-mm.
out to each and every single Filipino to encourage them to make their own little journey towards a greener and greater Philippines. So I feel like that's it. I'll be able to widen my reach. I'll be able to do a lot more programs, outreach
Mm-mm.
programs in any way I can. I just fingers crossed. I'm so excited for the rain to begin.
All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to ask. Well, it's just in connection to that question, actually, since you've already started talking about your advocacy.
Yeah.
So, prior to joining Miss Earth or Miss Philippines Earth 2021, have you already been doing such advocacy that you've been promoting right now, that you are promoting right now? Mm-hmm.
Yes, actually, during the pandemic, I went a whole week zero
Mm-hmm.
waste. Like, I went a
Mm-hmm.
whole entire week without using a single thing of plastic, or rather, if I did use it, I would put it into my eco brick. So my interest really peaked about zero waste, I believe, two
Mm-hmm.
years ago, when it just really intrigued me to learn about how much my waste is contributing to the planet. So my
Mm-mm.
step there was, it may sound gross to some people, but I really looked at my trash can. I went through it, kind of had to elaborate, what am I using? Where is my waste coming from? It was from packaging. It was from yung mga deliveries, alam mo naman yan, online shopping. And it was really a wake-up call for me to realize that, I have the opportunity, I have the power to not only create an impact, but also create an impact on other people's lives if I have the opportunity to see it where I not necessarily went wrong, but things that I can improve and make my lifestyle more sustainable, and show other people that it is possible when you support local
Mm-mm.
brands that ship eco-friendly, when you simply switch from a traditional period pad to maybe a menstrual cup, or reusable pads, reusable panty liners, reusable period panties. And
Mm-mm.
I think that was my very first step, aside from getting a water bottle and a metal straw, was switching my feminine hygiene to something more sustainable. And thinking now, I could never go back.
You know what? Mia, while you are telling us about this, it's actually leading me to another question. So I'm sorry, Yoji, I have to ask this to her before I ask you to to ask your questions, all right? So because this is actually my next question, supposedly that I've prepared. So since you are talking about zero waste and all, and recently we have been experiencing floods all over the country, and one of the causes, according to the environment enthusiasts, is due to proper plastic disposals, improper rather, due to improper plastic disposals. Now, my question is that how will you approach someone you suddenly witnessed who is loitering plastics around?
Mhm. So I feel like the best way to approach someone is
Mm-hmm.
not to judge. I always understand people where they're coming from. I like to replace judgment with being understanding, because I can never judge a person if they simply do not know the right way. That's why I always believe
Mm-hmm.
that education is key. Education is always almost the cure to fear, to the unknown. If you know,
Mm-mm.
especially right now, it's rainy season. Actually, a program that my city has implemented is the Action Agad team, which all throughout the recent Baguio Dante, they were there morning until night, unclogging the drains in, I believe, Bulaca, which is a certain area in our city that is quite flood prone. And that's because people have been throwing their rubbish onto the sidewalks. I believe that, the government can only do so much. They can only hold so many seminars. They can only talk to so many people and unclog so many drains. But at the end of the day,
Mm-mm.
the responsibility, it really lies within us and educating ourselves, educating other people about the harms of what throwing one single, whether it's from soft drinks or anything,
Yeah.
a wrapper, what one single thing could do.
Mm-mm.
It's a domino effect. So,
Mm-mm.
of course, education is always the most important thing, and to approach it in a way where you're not judging, but you're
Mm-mm.
understanding.
That's really I couldn't agree more
Yeah.
than that, Mia, because yeah, basically the root, or at least the foundation of everything is
Hmm.
through education. That's
Yes,
basically
well,
right. And I like what you have just
Yes.
said, mentioned, that you are not basically judging the person. Yeah,
yeah,
instead
it's
you have
important.
to educate the person and
Yes,
know the person where he's coming from, especially that you don't really know why is he doing that, right?
exactly.
Mm-mm. So I think Yoji has a
I have
question
a
right now.
question. I have a question. Yes.
I have
Yes.
a question.
Hi, Mia.
Hi, good evening. I'm good evening.
Okay, Mia. I work. May gabi. I've worked in Cebu for about 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And nakikita ko talaga yung Talisay Cebu is ano siya, very crowded din siya sometimes, very
Yes,
crowded, polluted yung air, lalo na
mhm.
ngayon na ano, andun yung SMCTC side, 'di ba?
Yes, po.
So, ang question ko is, who do you think is responsible for pollution? Is it individual people or the government?
Mm. Again, I feel like we're very quick to point fingers at an organization, whether it be a corporation or the
Mhm.
government. But, something that I've seen progress in my city over the past few years is a change. A change where I'm seeing cleaner streets, a change where I'm seeing proper segregation when it comes to waste, and a change when it comes to commuting. Actually, I believe over the past year, there's been a bigger implement of something that we call a beep, which is a mix between a hybrid between a bus and a jeepney. And it's what's
Mm-mm.
pushing people to commute in groups rather than, take their own forms of transportation. So I really love seeing initiatives like this that are, pushing something that's a bit more sustainable, something that's affordable to the masses, and something that is, thinking of, mga ilang how many years old our
Mm-mm.
jeeps are, diba? Like a lot of them, I remember when I was commuting, definitely being in a tricycle and being behind the jeep that's just bellowing black smoke. So I really love seeing that initiative that is not only creating job opportunities, but is really thinking about its community as well.
I hate you,
So, do you
Mia.
think, because,
No, you know why?
yeah,
You know why? You know why? My
Wow.
next question is supposedly about that, the jeepney modernization program, and you
Talaga.
are talking about it. How could you?
Sorry po. We can continue if you like. Sige po, anong question mo, sir?
But before that, I would like to shout out your mom because she's actually viewing
your
right
mom is
here.
watching.
Hello, Mommy Angie Quijano Salisbury. So thank you for the help.
Hi, mommy.
Yes, and of course we have here Janice Ababa Edvard Edvardsen.
Yes.
I think she's in Norway,
Yes, she is.
and they're
Thank you
watching.
for
They're watching
joining
all the way all the way from Norway. No, 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 Norway. Yes,
me.
and of course, how can I forget Arlene Murphy? She's watching all the way from Bohol. All right.
Hi,
So,
Tita.
all right. So, Yoji, you were saying something a while ago before I interrupted. Yeah.
May following question kasi ako. I have a following question
Mm-hmm.
sa
Go
una kong
ahead.
natanong.
Yes
Mm-hmm.
Do
po.
you think that your city has the most environmentally friendly reputation?
Sorry po.
Do you think that your city has the most environmentally friendly reputation, Mia?
The most
Your city? Do you
environmentally
think that your city
friendly
has the
reputation.
yes, 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 yes.
So actually, growing up, I didn't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I was very aware that our city had a very long way to go when it comes to being friendly into the environment. But again, recently I have seen a change. Not have been home for almost 2 years. I've seen lots of initiatives that our government has put into. Actually, just at the back of my grandma's place, there's a big river, and what they have done, what the government has done, has actually created a system in a sense where it's a net where it's going to
Mm-hmm.
catch all the rubbish so it does not reach the ocean, and it's
Wow,
even
that's nice.
out of
Mm-hmm.
it's made out of recycled bottles as well to help the net float. So I was really
Mm-hmm.
surprised to see it as well, and I was really surprised to see our current officials really push for us to be a more environmentally friendly city, because
Mm-hmm.
we can't dwell too much on the past. We've definitely made mistakes. There's always going to be room for improvement. The most eco-friendly city in the whole world, there's always going to be room for improvement, and what's important is we're
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging that and we're trying to move forward and create a greater impact, right?
And that's
Very
actually
nice.
leading me again to my next question. See,
And
how could you? I just really hate you for that.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to keep
Inuunahan
it
No,
mo yung
I'm
positive.
just
personal
kidding.
matters.
I'm just kidding, Mia. So, Mia, in 2012 to 2013,
Yes, po.
the Visayas Primary Healthcare Services
Mhm.
Incorporation, or Inc., had implemented an environmental health project that affected the families living by the coastal area in
Yes, po.
Mpe Talisay.
Yes.
Are you familiar with this barangay?
I have family living there.
Oh, so how this project has been today, since
Mhm.
that's from 2012 to 2013, and how did it affect the livelihood of the then residents?
Yes. Well, as you know, Talisay is a coastal city. So,
Mm-hmm.
actually, an initiative that has been happening recently is every Sunday. In my barangay, it's happening in Tangke right now. I'm not too sure, but we have been doing an initiative where each Sunday we do go to the beach and we do a cleanup. As for seeing the change in Tangke, I have seen an improvement in the livelihood. I was just talking to my cousin at the Charo the other day about her family being from Tangke, her husband. So, and they've said that they have seen an improvement when it comes to the coastal area. A lot of the livelihood that comes from the Tanque area is really the fish and
Mm-mm.
fishermen. And their
Mm-mm.
fish goes towards our public market. So I have seen and I have heard a change, but I really hope that this continues to grow and to blossom, and for it to really not just improve our city, but to improve many, many other coastal cities, not only in the Visayas, but in the Philippines. Definitely. It's very important.
Yeah. See? Wala na akong masabi.
Sorry, did I ask for another question ba? Oh my God,
Yeah.
pressure na po ako.
No, because every time that for every answers that you actually give us, it's leading me to another question that I have prepared, just like
Okay.
what EOG just asked you about, and you were explaining about the jeepney, and I have a question about jeepney modernization program, and let me just proceed to that then.
Let's go.
so, so jeepney modernization program has already been running implemented in Metro Manila.
Yes.
So, thus there are some drivers that got affected by it due to the new standards regulated by the LTFRB. So, such as the age of the car or of the jeepney that
Yes.
has to be used, and of course, um, it should not be smoke belching. And
Yes.
there are also advantages and disadvantages according to the most of the drivers. And one of its advantages, let me just mention one of the advantages, is it's being environment friendly.
Yes.
So, how are you going to reconcile the transition um, from the transition to jeepney modernization to suffering drivers of traditional jeepneys?
I completely understand where they're coming from because for years my grandpa
Mm-mm,
was a jeepney driver. My Lola was a jeepney driver. So I can completely understand where they're coming from when, if I'm putting myself in their position, someone is coming along and they're stripping away my livelihood. It's important
mm-mm,
for us to understand that this is what's putting their children through school, through
mm-mm,
college. This is what's putting food on their table. So I can
mm-mm,
completely understand and empathize with them, with
mm-mm,
the way that they're feeling. So I feel like a way to counter that is for the government to help, whether it's financial aid to putting towards buying a
mm-mm.
new, they're called the modernized jeepneys. Tama po ba?
Yes. Uh-huh.
The
Yes.
modernized
Yes.
jeepneys, yes. Whether it's the
Mm-mm,
government that's giving financial aid to assist these jeepney drivers, put their money towards a new vehicle.
mm-mm,
I feel like that would be really great because I understand where they're coming from completely. It's really their livelihood that is just being taken away from them because their
mm-mm,
vehicle is simply too old. But alongside with that, I feel like we do also need to educate these drivers that it's not going to be good for all of us in the long run, the way and the
mm-mm.
effect that it is having on our cities. So, again, in assistance with whether financial aids, grants, or whether the government will provide the actual vehicle, I feel like that in itself is such, a really big compromise on their end where both parties can meet in the middle.
Yeah, actually, based on what I have read, actually, just a while back, just a while back, yeah, one of the problems of these drivers is on how to purchase the
Yeah, right?
yeah the modernized jeepney, basically because
Very expensive.
um yeah, it's very expensive, and its average cost is about 2 million pesos. So they
Mhm.
have actually, based on their study, a driver could earn as much as 800 pesos a day, which makes it 24,000 pesos a month. And that would really be very difficult for them to,
It's not
yeah, to
realistic.
do installment for this.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's one of the problems right now with the jeepney modernization program.
Yes.
Mm-mm. So, what about you, Mars Yoji? Do you have any question with F4 rather? Do you have any questions for Mia? Hello, Mars. All right. So, while waiting for Mars, let we have another question in here coming from one of your supporters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is it this time?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
Hi Mia, this is Casey. So I just want to wish you good luck. Go out and give a full-hearted performance on Miss Philippines Earth. And ever since we were just kids, I've always admired you on how passionate you are on things that you really love and you want to achieve. And you never cease to impress me, which is why I doubt that you will kill this performance. And just know that everyone, everybody supports you and believes in you. And before I end this video, I just want to ask you one question. So, how do you think winning Miss Philippines Earth will be a biggest challenge in your advocacy? Bye. Good luck again.
There you go.
Excuse me. She's one of her mother is actually being best friends with my mom ever since
Oh.
like high
Mm,
school or elementary. So we definitely grew up together. It's so good to
mm,
see her. I need to visit them while I'm still in Cebu. But how
mm,
will my how will winning this pageant bring challenges to my advocacy?
Yes, that's right. Hmm.
Okay, so I feel like, especially right now during the pandemic, doing any outreach program is definitely going to bring
Hmm.
challenges and obstacles, of course. There's definitely lots of protocols that we will have to follow, but I feel
Hmm.
like with the title and with the support of our local government, with the support of the organization, I feel like no matter whatever comes my way, I will be able to overcome it in a sense
Hmm.
where, again, Casey knows that everything that I put my work into, I'm so passionate about it. And I feel like I'll find a way. Diba? Yung quote na yan that one of my aunts always tells me is, pag may gusto, may paraan. Pag ayaw mo, may dahilan. So definitely, I'm always the type of person that will find a way, and I'm not gonna let anything stand in my way as long as everyone's health and well-being is definitely, of course, our priority. As long as it's not going to put anyone at risk, I'm definitely going to push through and try
Hmm.
to get my advocacy out there as much as I can with this new platform.
Yeah, that's actually right. The only challenge actually after winning or when you win Miss Earth, it's basically the situation right now, the
Yes.
pandemic, that we cannot be able to, work on our
Mhm.
actual advocacy, or I mean,
Yeah.
we cannot we cannot actually go out and reach out to actual people that we want to go to. Mm-mm. Right? So
Oo, may
I
question
think
ako ulit kay kay
there's
Yoji.
another question coming from our friend here. Yoji, go ahead.
Okay. Mia, Talisay City, Cebu, marami na siyang mga establishments na naitayo, 'di ba? Lalo na dun sa SRP banda.
Sa ano
Um,
po?
my question is, sa may SRP, 'di ba marami ng mga establishments na naitayo doon?
Yes po.
Maraming establishments na naitayo sa Talisay City sa may SRP. So my question is, are companies more or less environmental responsible now than they were in the past?
I definitely think so. I feel like a lot of companies right now are not only inclined but are also
Mhm.
feeling the pressure of the community and the government saying that this is our home. If you're going to
Mhm.
build an establishment, please keep in mind the people that live here, the people that you will affect if you don't put these changes and these rules and apply them to your business. So definitely I feel like there is being so much more of an incline of companies and businesses who wanting to become more eco-friendly or just sustainable in general. So I have seen, and it has been such a shock coming back to Cebu. I remember going on the
Mhm.
SRP and just seeing, the wide scape of the beach, but now I'm seeing more and more businesses. And I hope that with
Okay.
that, there's going to also come a responsibility.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Whew. Do we still have any questions coming from our viewers? Well, we keep on encouraging you, everyone, to please just drop down your questions for Mia, so we could ask them to Mia, right? So let me
Fun.
just ask you once again, Mia. Um, Mia, if in case that you have the image of the Mother Earth right now,
Hmm.
um, what can you see, or what can you see that or what are the illnesses of Mother Earth that you can see?
I feel like what I would see in a picture is
Yes. Mhm.
Mother Earth crying, but also hopeful. Hopeful in a sense where she hopes that her children, wake up to their senses, and where we'll
Mhm.
be able to not only prevent her sicknesses, but also look for cures and be someone who is diligent and be someone who's pushing with initiative to be able to not only cure Mother Earth, but to also
Mhm.
prevent future not only pandemics, but just all of these environmental issues that are just coming up and really escalating. So I feel like she would be crying, but she'd be hopeful because I know she's very strong.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, Mia,
Well,
I have a following question para dyan. Okay. Uh,
Yes.
how do you feel about when you hear about global warming? So, do you think there's still hope for the future?
You know, a lot of people say that we are going to reach a date where it's just going to be irreversible, but I always like to believe that there's always going to be a chance for hope if we just push and strive towards it. Again, I feel like educating everyone about global warming and teaching them the causes and how, in their little own way, that they can not only prevent but also be able to keep our climate and our temperature down, whether it's climate change, whether it's global warming, whether
mm-mm,
it's all of the things that we're facing right now as a global community. You know, if we just come together, if we just take initiative and don't wait for the time where it's going to be irreversible and feel like there is
mm-mm.
hope. There definitely is hope.
I also believe
Okay,
on
thank
that,
you.
Mia, because, well, if we are already working right now on how to prevent, definitely there will be a change. There will be a result that we're going to get from what we are doing right now.
Yes.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
True.
that's basically correct. Okay, so we are moving forward to our next segment. I hope you like this segment.
Okay.
Okay. So
Excited.
this, yeah, there's gonna be an activity or it's kind of game that we
All
are
right.
going to ask you to choose. So, all right, let me just try to pull that up in here.
Okay.
hmm Where is that? There you go. All right, can you see
Yeah.
it?
Yes, I can see the screen. It's loading. Yeah, and this is the Metro
Yes.
Manila skyline. Okay.
Just give me one moment. You've already had a glimpse of it.
Sorry, no cheating.
All right.
I should close my eyes.
No, that's all right. So in here, you can see five crowns of Miss Earth.
Yes.
This already includes the elemental crowns, right? So
Yes.
the Miss Earth crown, the Miss Earth crown, and the elemental crowns: Miss Earth Air, Miss Philippines Earth Air, Miss Philippines Earth Fire, Miss Philippines Earth Water, and Miss Philippines Earth Ecotourism.
Eco
So
tourism.
yeah, so all you have to do is choose at least three among these crowns, and each crown has a corresponding video that you're going to watch, that you're going to watch, and of course, give comments or reactions or opinion on a particular video that you're gonna see. Okay.
Love this.
All right. So,
So much.
are you
Interesting.
ready?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So it's time for you to pick a crown. Which
Of
crown would you
course,
like?
first, I like and I would love to have one day the Miss Philippines Earth this year. So the Miss
Miss
Philippines Earth
Philippines Earth
crown.
Crown. All
Yeah,
right, there you go.
diretso na.
All right, so there you go. What can you say about that?
You know, it's really heartbreaking to see this. You know, I was expecting to see something very happy, and my heart just really sunk.
Mm-mm. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, but my heart just really sunk because it's so
Mm-mm.
unfortunate that, you know, so many people have to suffer with
Mm-mm.
that consequence, a consequence that wasn't or could have really been prevented. I feel like there needs to
Mm-mm.
be more preventative measures that are put when it comes to this. Definitely when it's so close to people's homes. It's so close. You know, people lost their livelihoods, everything that they worked towards. So my heart definitely goes out to them. And if anything, I just want to encourage organizations and LGUs to definitely put a lot more preventative measures onto this so that it won't have to affect people
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, especially in the Philippines, that we
Definitely.
have, yeah, we have longer, how shall I call that, dry season, right? So
Yeah.
it's almost a year long dry
Yes.
season, and it's really prone to fire.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lalo na
I'm
lalo
sorry,
naman
Mia.
sa pag mga
Mm-mm.
lalo na sa mga bahay-bahay na very ano talaga, so delikado talaga yung sunog kasi
Masikip, yes
mabilis
po.
kumalat lalo na pag ano, masikip, oo.
Mm,
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm really sorry once again, Mia, for that,
It's okay. It's
for
okay.
me, for making you feel sad about the video.
It's okay.
Don't
Okay.
worry, Maya, you
So
still have to.
two more crowns to choose from.
Two more crowns to choose
I to
from.
choose, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll choose fire since that is my group.
Oh, good. So,
The
huh.
fire crown.
Should I have to reveal this? Okay.
Disclaimer. Oh my goodness. Hindi ako handa.
So here you go. Here's the fire crown.
Hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, well, I really witnessed this firsthand since I was stranded in Manila during the pandemic and our condominium was right on EDSA. And
Mm-mm.
before the pandemic, we would never enjoy meals on the balcony or really spend any time on the balcony because the
Mm-mm.
smog from EDSA was so severe. And I feel like if anything, the pandemic was definitely a wake-up call for all of us
Mm-mm.
that we need Mother Earth, but Mother Earth does not need us. It
That's
was
right. Mm-hmm.
such, it's such a harsh reality that,
Mm-mm.
this, it's almost her way of saying that, look, if you give me time to heal, I can heal. If you
Mm-mm.
give me just the opportunity, I'll be able to flourish once again. So
Mm-mm.
I just want to encourage everyone to, of course, be very conscious with their carbon footprint, especially when it comes to carbon emissions. So it
Mm-mm.
was definitely a wake up call and seeing that real right there and then, exactly from the balcony. And
Mm-mm.
after that, being able to enjoy meals, being able to sit outside on the balcony and not almost feel not necessarily suffocated, but just feel uncomfortable. So it's a
Mm-mm.
reset, it's a wake up call for all of us to, rethink our actions and for the government to continue to implement tougher policies when it comes to us reducing our carbon emissions and our carbon footprint for sure.
Mm-mm. I
Mhm.
couldn't agree more, Mia, because that's also what I felt during the time when um, it was really in the how shall at the strictest quarantine period. Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, we really, I really saw that as well. The clear skies, and it's really the blue skies that you can see
Mhm.
every day.
Yeah.
Then, mm-mm.
Parang it was only
And
a matter of
Mhm.
uh,
weeks talaga, sir, di ba?
Mm.
Parang
So
only a
last
oh
matter
year,
yeah,
of weeks.
yes, last year na lockdown talaga, nakakapagpahinga talaga si Mother Earth.
Yes.
that's right. Totoo
Definitely
yun. Mm-mm.
the year that the world stopped talaga.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's right. Whew. You still have one last crown to
One more.
choose. But if you want to continue, just let us know.
Sige, tapusin natin lahat. Ano? Enjoy
Gusto
ako.
ko
Gusto ko
lahat ng
yan.
corona. Lahat ng corona
Gusto ko
Enjoy
gusto
yan.
ko.
natin.
Mhm.
Sige,
O
ano ba
talaga.
yung next?
Mhm. Next
Sige, try
crown. Mhm.
natin. I really love the color green as well. So try natin the Miss Philippines Earth
Ecotourism.
Ecotourism.
All right, there you go. So there you go. What did you notice?
Hindi din ako na-prepare nun ah.
What did you notice?
Earthquake. Tama po
Yeah,
ba?
it's an
Yeah.
earthquake video. Hmm. It's actually a live footage of an earthquake.
I have only experienced earthquakes while living here in the Philippines.
Mm-mm.
I've had a few, but definitely something that doesn't compare to the trauma that it leaves on a lot of families and a lot of businesses, and
Mm-mm.
really the hole that it leaves in families. So I feel like, not necessarily there's a specific way that we know that can prevent earthquakes, but I feel like
Mm-mm.
it's also almost Mother Nature's, again, wake up call that, she is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And
Yeah.
it's a wake up call for us to realize that, you know, the inevitable will happen. It's only a
Mm-mm.
matter of preparing and trying to prevent it as much as possible. I
Mm-mm.
remember I believe my very first earthquake experience was actually in this room right now in my tita's house, and I remember seeing the beads on the altar shake
Mm-mm.
and sway, and I thought it was the electric fan at first, but then the whole altar began shaking, and
Mm-mm.
it was scary. So I couldn't. It only lasted for a few minutes, so I just couldn't imagine what those people right there and the people that have experienced bigger and worse earthquakes, especially our kababayans, because I know that the Philippines, we've been through a lot of very traumatic and earthquakes
Mm-mm.
that have left scars on us, really.
Mm-mm.
So
Whew. Very sad talaga, no?
very sad. I,
Very
I, I
traumatic
felt
talaga
very
yung
sad
earthquake.
watching it. I was like, I don't wanna cry. It's really sad.
Yeah. Whew. Do you want to continue?
Okay, let's keep going. It's a harsh. A lot of these is just very harsh realities that we're
Yes.
often too sheltered to really see
Mm-mm.
these things. So I feel like this is a great opportunity to anchor us all in, and especially the audience as well, to really
That's right.
remind us.
Mm-hmm.
So sige po.
Sige pa. Kaya pa.
Dalawa na lang.
Because we
Kaya
only
pa.
have last two crowns though. Okay,
Okay.
so the next crown you wanted to open.
Let's go with Miss Philippines Earth Air.
Air.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So there you go.
Mining.
It's yeah, mining, and it's causing forest it's causing
Deforestation.
yeah, it's causing deforestation or forest denudation.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So, I've always been a very firm believer that Mother Earth is going to provide us with all of the means, or all of our means, when it comes to our necessities. But in return, if we take from her, I believe that we should always give back. I have seen
Yes.
a few mining companies do take initiative to not only give back to the people of the town that they are conducting their mining, but also, replanting trees and
Mm-mm.
and doing not necessarily little things that here are that are just here and there, but things that really show that they're grateful in a sense that Mother Earth has given us the opportunity to give people jobs. It's given us the opportunity for people to be able to put food on their plates and
Mm-mm.
a roof over their head. Because mining is a very big industry here in the Philippines, and it does create a lot of job opportunities. So it's a big part of
Mm-mm.
our economy, but I think it's definitely important that we incorporate a lot of responsibility and accountability. Like
Yeah.
accountability is the biggest thing that we need to take into consideration.
Mm-mm. Mining responsibility.
Yes, of course.
Mm-mm.
Definitely.
We really do hope that all the miners or all the mining companies will also replant trees after doing such, right?
Oo,
It's
kasi
a very
kawawa.
small gesture, but a gesture that
Mm-mm.
can make a big difference. Sorry po, sir. I cut you off.
Hindi,
Ah,
okay lang. Kasi kawawa yung ano, nakikita natin yung mga bundok kasi
Yeah.
nababag na siya,
mm-mm.
na nakakalbo na talaga dahil sa mining. So in return,
Mm,
dapat
Mm-mm.
magtatanim din yung mga mining companies, di ba?
tama po. They need to
Mm-mm.
also give back from what they receive.
Yes. Mm-mm. Okay, we have the last crown, which is
Last
Miss Philippines
round.
Earth Water.
There.
Woo. What do you think this is?
Oh, I'm ready to, I need to prepare myself. Take a deep breath. Looking
So
forward.
here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so I think this also something to do with water. So
Okay.
here we go. All right. So what can you say about that?
I
Any
actually,
reaction?
I really appreciated the line there at the end where it said some people blame poor drainage systems.
Mm-mm.
And of course, drainage systems have and do play such a big role when it comes to floods. I feel like it's
Mm-mm.
especially important now that, we're officially in the rainy season. We are a country that definitely experiences a lot of typhoons yearly, and with climate change, they
Mm-mm.
are definitely intensifying. So it's important for us to realize that, you know, we can't really blame or point fingers single-handedly at organizations in the government when you see that those plastics are from the street. Those
Mm-mm.
plastics aren't being pulled out of the garbage collection trucks and thrown back onto the streets, but that's our
Mm-mm.
doing. That is
Mm-mm.
really almost the final, projection of what we've done as a community. And yes, again, as I mentioned earlier, diba, I feel like the government can only unclog so many drains. They can only
That's right.
redo the drainage so many
Mm-mm.
times. They can only hold so many seminars. But it's
Mm-mm.
really up to us as individuals. I read this quote the other day that was really interesting about, someone buying milk tea. If you can walk
Mm-mm.
around the mall the whole day holding your milk tea and drinking it when it's completely
Mm-mm.
full, what stops you from holding it when it's completely empty and disposing of it properly? So that was something that really stuck with me actually, because I was like, hey, that's actually very true. I don't know how many times, I've gone for a run and gotten taho on the way home, and I've seen people throw their plastic cups on the sides or not use a reusable cup. And I
That's
always make
right.
it a point to save it until I do see a rubbish bin. But in saying
Mm-mm.
that, I also think that we need to add a lot more rubbish bins on our streets. because the
Mm-mm.
reality is, especially walking around, I've done a lot of walking recently, a lot of running, trying to, prepare for the pageant. And something that I realized is there's not a lot of public trash cans on the sides of the
Mm-mm.
streets. When in
Mm-mm.
my travels, I've noticed that really the trash cans abroad are only meters apart and on both sides of the road. So I feel like,
Mm-mm.
if we do encourage our government, our LGUs, or maybe even the actual owners of the building to put more trash cans on the side of the street, then that way, people won't just be
Mm-mm.
simply chucking their rubbish into the gutter.
Yeah. Sometimes that's as well the problem right now.
Yeah.
When you are while you are actually walking around and you won't be able to see any trash bins
Yeah.
for your trashes, for your rubbishes.
Yeah.
So the tendency is that people would just throw it away anywhere. um well, we keep on, or even in the school they keep on educating us to put our trashes on our bags or on our pockets. But sometimes people wouldn't think about that as well, instead of looking for trashes around. So I think,
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah, we cannot actually point out whose
Yeah.
fault would it be. But I think it's responsibility. It's basically the responsibility of each one of us.
Yeah. Definitely a
Mm-mm.
social responsibility for
Yes.
us
Mm-mm.
all. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
Whew.
I agree with kailangan din talaga, yes, kailangan din talaga maglagay ng mga trash bins, lalo na
Yeah.
sa mga public places.
Mm.
Oo,
Yes.
kasi
Mm-mm.
crowded places
Kasi,
siya, so probably
totoo.
dun maraming basura.
That's
Totoo.
right. Mm-mm.
Kahit ako minsan, parang mainis ako na, oh my God, I've been walking for almost a kilometer and there's still no trash can. But I have to really wait
Mm-mm.
until I get home. Of course, I'm going to
Mm-mm.
do it because I understand the adverse effects that,
Mm-mm.
just one plastic cup
Mm-mm.
or one piece of rubbish is going to make on our environment. But some people don't think like that. So it is important for us, the government or whatever, they can't expect people to initiate change or to really get
Mm-mm.
involved when, we're not being equipped with all of the tools that can really not only help us, but really propel us in towards a better, or as I like to say, a greener and greater Philippines.
Yeah, actually, it is very possible um, to keep the surroundings clean, free from rubbishes, just like what Marikina has been doing. We all know
Mm,
that Marikina has been very clean all
yeah.
day long, and you can't really see a single trash around because
Mhm.
I don't know. I think they have trashes around as well. I mean trash bins around.
Yeah.
Hmm. And they were able to sustain that. Hmm.
Sustaining it is what's important because I've heard
Yeah.
sometimes, alam niyo naman yung the heavy plastic, pagdalhin
Mm-mm.
mo sa, I'm not sure if it's called the same in Tagalog, but sa timbanganan, where you can
Mm-mm.
sell, I've heard that some
Mm-mm.
people taken them off the roads and went to the place to sell them. So I feel like, you know, desperate people make desperate decisions. So I feel like it's
Mm-mm.
important to create something that is not only going to help us, but actually really be sustainable, diba?
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Din.
So we're
Today we
able
can
to
talk
do it.
so
Congratulations.
much. I'm
At
so
sumabot
happy.
na yung 5 crowns.
Kaya nga eh, di ba?
Galing ko na ba lahat?
Ang
Ganito.
galing.
Ang
5
galing-galing.
crowns.
Which is very impressive. So, before we end up this, Mia, would you like to say anything to your supporters, any messages, and any social media platform that you would like to, um, how shall I say, to plug?
To plug.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just want to say thank you to both of you, of course, sir, for having me and giving me an opportunity to, voice out my
Mm-hmm.
advocacy, to speak and to shed a little bit of light on some of the things that I'm passionate about and some of the things that I want to see change in our country, and really, for us to again push towards a greener and greater Philippines. I'm
Yes.
really so thankful. So also a really big thank you to my family, of course, my KF Familia as well, Stacy's Model Management, my makeup artist, my Bri, si Dada, and really the Scarlett, just everyone that's been pushing and encouraging me to join this pageant, because at the start, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that I had it in me or I was ready, but day by day, I think that I finally found my purpose. So I'm very, very thankful. Just filled
All
with
right.
gratitude. Yeah.
Would you like to invite them to follow you on Instagram, Facebook, or if you have any YouTube channel?
I do have a YouTube channel, but it's a bit outdated. I will admit I
Mhm.
kind of neglected it for a while, but I am trying to be more active. I believe my YouTube channel is Mia Jane Salisbury. My social media accounts are all Mia J Salisbury, just the letter J. And so that's my Instagram, and also my Facebook page is just Mia Jane Salisbury. That's my plug.
All right, thank you so much, Pia. But this interview won't end without this because there are some people who would like also to express their support to you. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. Okay, I'm
So
ready.
here they are. Okay.
Hi, Mia! This is your Ate Janice, ang nagsasabing si Mia Jane Salisbury lang sa kalam. Because I know you will make it. So bring that bacon home, Inday. All the way from Norway. Full support po kami sa'yo. So fight lang. Love, love, love. See you soon.
Hi, Timia. It's Kate Rollins. Good luck sa imong journey. I wish you all the best, and no matter what the outcome, just know everyone will be proud of you. You're kind, you're smart, and you are beautiful. Be confident of yourself. I am so proud of you for making it this far. And although this video is short, I would like to express my utmost support together with your family and friends here in Talisay City, Cebu. Break a leg, Timia!
Hi,
Hi,
Mia.
Mia. Good luck with the competition.
Have fun. And stay strong with your advocacy.
Bye.
Hi Mia, it's Auntie Arlene here. I know how important this is for you. Hope you know that I'm rooting for you. You got this. Good luck.
Hello, Mia. This is Sir Doms. I know that you are one of the Earth Warriors, and I know that you are already capable enough of maintaining your responsibilities and obligation as a savior of God's creation in the world of nature to preserve into the next generation. So, wish you all the best and God bless.
Hi Mia, this is your Auntie Jayla from Talisay, and I've known you since you were a kid, and we, your family, are very proud of you to see you grow up into the lady that you are now. All the best, Dai Mia Dai, on this journey. Congrats!
Oh,
Har-
ayoko na umiyak. Wow, it's just
Na-surprise ka ba? Na-surprise ka ba, Mia?
surprise ako. Ayoko talaga umiyak. And just thank you so much for setting that off. The pandemic has definitely kept me and my family apart. So it's just so encouraging and so inspiring to be able to see that and to see them supporting me. So thank you so much. Ang
yeah.
galing! Ayoko na umiyak. Umiyak na
Yeah.
umiyak.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mia. Thank you for accepting our invitation to be on this live chat. And just like what we have mentioned earlier before we started, we are really very honored and pleasured to have you here on Pageant Mag Philippines. And of course, I would like to thank all the people behind those who help us collect those videos, especially to your mom, Mom Angel. Ma'am Angie. Yeah, thank you so much, Ma'am Angie, for the help. Yeah, I was really hopeless to to find someone who could help me or who could help us, but I was really able to. I just noticed actually the comment of your mom on our page that she'll be around on this live, so I reached out to her bravely.
She's very approachable. I'm her
Yeah.
carbon copy.
Yeah, so I'm really thankful for that. That she was able to reply right away to me and was able to work with me, getting all of those videos for you.
Thank you.
All right. So, to all our viewers, once again, thank you for tuning in with us. And we hope to see you once again on our next video live. Thank you so much, Mia. And definitely, we'll be supporting you and we'll be looking forward to your Miss Philippines Earth journey.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me. I had so much fun. I really did. And the surprise at the end, parang bittersweet. Na parang, ayoko na muna umalis. Parang, I want to talk about with you guys. You guys are such good hosts. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Please to continue to follow us, and I mean to support our page and our YouTube channel. Bye.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Yes, we're back, Mia.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Sir Francois. I had so much fun. Pinaiyak mo
Oh,
talaga ako, ha?
totoo ba?
Yeah. Muntik na talaga, parang lumabas na talaga. Na makeup is gonna run na talaga.
Talaga ba? Oy, sorry naman kung napaiyak ka
No, thank you. Tears
namin.
of joy naman. Tears of joy.
Ayun, thank you talaga. In behalf of Pageant Mag Philippines, we are very thankful and grateful that you have accepted this invitation that we had to you for you.
Yes. No,
Mhm.
I'm really so thankful talaga, Sir Francois. So I should be thanking you. I really should. I